A burning question that needs to be answered. Welcome to Random Thoughts, Part 2. Or welcome to Random Thoughts. They are random. They don't have an answer. The sound can be irritating, so please wear a good audio set, a headphone. Who gives us the right to look at someone's horoscope? The right is given to us by the client who comes and sits in front of us or who contacts us for a reading. The client's soul talks to you and tells you, please look at my horoscope, oh dear astrologer, and tell me my past, present and future. On social media, or even in the last 2000 years of astrology, because of the family astrologer, mother visits and says, hey, look at the horoscope of my son. What business is going to do, how is it going to be his marriage life, etc. Mother has the right, inborn right, to ask about her child's horoscope. But if that same woman comes and shows you the horoscope of a neighbor or relative, saying so and so person is not giving me the share in the property, at that time the question should come in your mind whether we have the right to look at such a chart. Because the neighbor hasn't come to you, the relative hasn't come to you, giving you permission, that soul-to-soul permission. Now why am I saying all this? 2 points. Social media, magazines, discussion on someone's horoscope. We love to read the chart analysis and the future of a celebrity or a politician. We love that. We want to know what's going to happen in the future. But why? Why should I know what's going to happen? Knowing about one's country is one thing. Knowing about an individual without his permission, as per my humble opinion, is not appropriate. I use the word appropriate. It may be right, it may be wrong in certain circumstances. Because everybody in the magazine business has been doing that, it doesn't mean it's right. If everybody tells a lie, it doesn't make it a truth. If everybody follows the trend, if everybody is smoking, it doesn't take the cancer away. Okay? It doesn't mean that smoking is right. If I smoke, I'm not going to tell my children or my friends to smoke. If I drink, I'm not going to tell my children or my friends or my fans to drink. Similarly, going into someone's past for an astrological analysis to understand how the planets are behaving, why so and so event has happened, it can still be justified. I use the word can still be justified. But here remember, nobody likes a dirty past of his to be revoked, reanalyzed, etc. It's like say Marilyn Monroe. She's no longer alive. As per my mentor, looking at the horoscopes of people who are dead or wrong, I have committed that sin in the magazine. I still do commit in my teachings, because you require celebrities for known events. For known events you require celebrities, because if you take personal charts of friends, etc., people are not impressed. They want verifiable events. This is the problem of today's audience. Did the rishis ever take up a horoscope and analyze? No, except in Satyacharyam, where Rishi Satyacharya, whom even the 6th century astrologer Varamira, probably 6th century, described as one of the greatest astrologers, and said, whenever in doubt, go to Satyacharya. In that, one novel horoscope is taken and described as per what is available to us. Today it is available as Satyajatakam, published by Ranjan Publications. Unfortunately, nobody reads that book. In Saptarishi Nadi or Nandi Nadi, horoscopes have been taken, but those are where the goddess Parvati has given the horoscope, probably for analysis and some future predictions. But that is among the rishis. 7 rishis are sitting, she is giving it, and that is a learning. It depends, the whole question is the intent. Wow, that's loud. That's loud. It depends on the intent why you are looking at someone's horoscope and predicting the future. Are you predicting the future so that you get more, your predictions come true and you get more clienteles? Or are you trying to establish astrology, the veracity of astrology, to show that astrology is a science? But the question again comes, do we really need to fight among those who do not believe in astrology and show that astrology is a science, it works? No, no. Those who do not believe in astrology will come always forward and say, hey, the tsunami happened, no astrologer predicted. By the way, I'm sitting in a tsunami zone. Here the tsunami several years back, I think 10 years back. Wow, 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 that's loud. The tsunami happened. I was back last year in Phi Islands in Thailand. There also the tsunami happened. So the predictions will come. The 2004 tsunami, I think so. Nobody predicted. Donald Trump's election, nobody predicted, or one predicted. So easy to predict the future. But as I said, the intent. Why are we making that prediction? For fame? Do we really care about the person's horoscope that we are looking? Isn't astrology meant to see someone's horoscope, care for that person's future? These are questions we need to ask. Some of you who might be professional astrologers will not like me. Nobody likes me. Most hated man probably in astrology today. Not because I want to expose people, but because I want to think. This is how I think, I contemplate. Some things I've done wrong in the astrological journey of mine. In future, I'll continue to do some things wrong for bread and butter. If you can accept it, I'm just a normal guy like you. Even you will continue to do something wrong. You might not like something, but might be forced to be friends with a person who's doing that something wrong. All this happens. What happens with the karma of an astrologer when we look at someone's horoscope? I'll give you an example. Suppose I look at your horoscope and say, hey man, you don't have a good marriage life. Hey man, the next year is going to be bad for you. Hey man, your child is not going to have a happy life. Are you going to like it? Especially when you did not ask me to look at your horoscope. In social media, you will see the way Westerners behave and the way Indians behave. Indians it's a common trend. You can observe it 10, 20 years, I've been observing it. And Westerners talk about the way Indians behave on social media. Indians love to fight on social media. Not that Westerners don't like to fight. Indians love to be aggressive. I have done the same. Probably, few times. Indians love to predict and show off their predictive ability, whether asked for or not asked for. It is like a shooting happening somewhere, a movie being shot, and a bystander coming in front of the camera, in front of Amitabh Bachchan. The camera is rolling and the bystander trying to show off. Come on, man. Come on. Did anybody ask you? Do we have manners to see at someone's horoscope? I know what happens in WhatsApp groups. People take up a horoscope unasked for. Take up your horoscope. Why take up someone's horoscope whose permission you don't have? I don't know. I'm just asking. The way I look at it, I believe that if I predict on someone, something negative especially. So as K.N. Rao said, he said that in our interview, 2010 interview, October. Very, very old one. You got to go and watch it on Saptarishis Astrology channel. Age 48 to 60, all these astrologers suffer who give negative predictions. Especially uncalled for negative predictions is what I would interpret. It's like looking at a horoscope. If you look at my horoscope and give a negative prediction about my future when I have not asked you, I'm going to give you an instant badwa. Why? Because I don't like hearing negative about myself, about my future. I like to believe that whatever is going to happen, let Narayan decide. It will be as per my karma. Yes, sometimes I do worry like a normal human being. But if I look at your horoscope and give a prediction, hey, you're going to be bad in sex. Hey, your wife is lousy in sex, or you're lousy in sex. How are you going to like it? Sometime back in a WhatsApp group, I think Urmila was telling me, somebody put that, one lady from Malaysia or somewhere, and a guy from India put up my horoscope and said something about my future. Did I ask for it? Do you think so? If somebody would have done that, okay, wouldn't instantly from my heart come a prediction or come a thought, hey man, I don't like you. May you go to. Humans do that. You want to test how it feels? Okay, share your horoscope without saying it's your horoscope. And just say something bad about yourself, about the chart holder, and see how everybody will go negative on that horoscope. I'll tell you why I'm making this video. I have always been against horoscope matching. I've said it in my interviews on KRS. Unfortunately, those interviews are no longer available online. They're no longer available. I said I do not believe in horoscope matching, although it is part of the Shastra. The reason is, today horoscope matching has become too manipulative. Parents instantly they take their daughter's horoscope or child's son's horoscope to an astrologer and say, will this woman whom my son plans to marry, will she give a male child? Astrologer says no male child. That's it, marriage is not going to happen. Astrologer says, oh, she's not going to give your son great fortune. You better marry so and so person which will give great fortune, which has so and so combination. Now, just in case, if you are one of those guys who believe that there is something called free will, then think of the free will. The astrologer at that moment might have influenced the parents. The parents would have said, our astrologer believes it's not matching. The horoscopes are not matching, it's not compatible. And there might be some karma pending from previous life between these two people, the boy and the girl, that needs to be completed in this life. Probably a bad marriage, or probably to give birth to a child, okay, or probably to do some events together, some pending karmas. So you as an astrologer intervene. And by the way, let me tell you, I've said this before also, when it comes to horoscope matching, the best of the best have failed. I've traveled all over India, found exceptional rules. What the Northeast astrologer would be knowing, the South astrologer will not be knowing. Exception rules in horoscope matching. I've given the example of the Hyderabad astrologer. Exceptional astrologer. What he knows in horoscope matching, nobody knows. Please don't call me. Please don't private message me asking me for that astrologer's number or contact details. I'm not going to do that. I get tired with people throughout the day messaging with their problems. There are so many astrologers who need money, who need to survive. They keep on blasting themselves, marketing themselves. Go and consult them. It's better. Let them earn some money. I don't know astrology much. I'm not capable enough to even look at your horoscope or even guide you to an astrologer. So recently, one of my students made the mistake of looking at a male's horoscope. A lady had approached her and said, "This is a male's horoscope. My daughter likes her. Please look at this man's horoscope. He also likes her. And see if the horoscope is good, matching, etc., whatever." My student, she looked at that male's horoscope and said, "Oh, this guy is probably not truthful or might not have a good marriage life, etc., etc., etc." What happens in that condition? When you describe some traits of some people, that is not standing in front of you. You're not getting his or her vibration. You don't have his photograph. And authenticity of the birth chart. How do you rectify? Right till the D60. How do you rectify? And if you learn D60, you will realize the Rashi chart can sometimes be like a web trying to fool you. It's getting dark. It's getting very dark. So I'm going to complete this very fast. Now, my student said this about that guy, and the lady did not like it. And she incidentally is very well known to me. She said, "Your student was wrong in her analysis, etc., etc." So I called the student and said, "Please be careful. Please be careful about all these things. You know my rules of not looking at anybody's horoscope if he or she is not present. Unless it's a case of health, you know, where a wife is asking about her parent or etc. or other things." So my student had a very good question to ask. She said, "Sir, if the boy has given his birth details, doesn't it mean he has given permission to look at his horoscope?" I said, "Which man will give permission for you to look at his horoscope and do a character negative analysis about some of his bad traits? That's a karma you'll have to bear. That's a karma you'll have to bear." We astrologers, I'll say it in a very rude manner, we astrologers like to discuss other astrologers' horoscope without their permission and say, "Hey man, he's a pathetic guy. Look at his Mars Rahu in the 10th house. Oh, he must be a pathetic human being. Look at his exalted Jupiter, selfish." I've also done that in the past. Ideally, as the saying goes, a gentleman never talks about someone behind his back. Follow that in your astrological practice. Don't try to find out somebody's color or somebody's undergarments. You're not in that business. That's not what your horoscope is for. Thank you so much. It's very dark. I don't know if you guys can watch it. Just hear the audio. Thank you. Love you all.